Truly is very alarming and shocking to see this, and we have seen thousands of young university-educated protesters taking to the streets every single Saturday, making central London a no-go zone for Jewish people. And we've seen, anti-Semitic chants and slogans from the river to the sea being chanted at every single protest. And it is very, very concerning. And one thing is the lack of education. A lot of these people are getting their information from TikTok. TikTok is fueling pro-Palestinian propaganda, and also Iran and Russia are funding this propaganda to turn people against Israel, because Iran sees Israel as a nemesis and is fueling this propaganda and fueling this hatred.
Now, you spoke to members of London's Jewish community on Sunday at St John's Wood Synagogue. Tell me how that community is feeling, because as you said, these protests in London, they're massive, they take over the city, and you would imagine a lot of Jewish people wouldn't feel safe being amongst that and leaving their homes in the midst of all those protests.
Yeah, for the past 6 months, London's Jewish community have been frightened to go into central London. They've also been hiding their Star of David necklaces and hiding any indication that they are Jewish, taking their kippah hats off when they're going out in public. And that is really, really sad, because London has an incredible Jewish community, and the fact that they are scared to go into central London, they're scared of being attacked. We've seen many anti-Semitic attacks and outbursts. If somebody carries the Israeli flag when they're walking through Westminster, we see them get attacked and harassed. And it really is sad. And, I spoke yesterday to the Jewish community, just trying to reassure them that there are many British people and, of course, people in Australia and around the world that stand with them. But we need more people to speak up, because right now the Jewish community feels scared. And many of them say they actually feel safer in Israel than they do in the United Kingdom.
Well, you mentioned TikTok and the role it plays in fueling some of this anti-Semitic sentiment. TikTok has removed over 3 million videos to do with the Israeli-Gaza conflict since October 7. But you're a social media expert. You've got a huge following on multiple platforms. Can you tell me whether they've been even-handed in the way they've removed these videos?
Well, we've seen since the October 7th attack, TikTok has been pushing heavily biased content that is in favour of Palestine. So we're seeing a lot of information. We're seeing influencers that have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. These influencers don't even know where Palestine is. They don't even know which river they're chanting about. And it's just really fueling misinformation. And TikTok is promoting these videos on the algorithm, even though they deny that and they try to say that this is what young people are looking for, this is how young people feel. They are undeniably pushing pro-Palestine content, and they're also censoring Jewish voices. So, there are many pro-Israeli accounts that are shadow banned, completely banned. My account was completely banned for a period of time earlier this year, simply because of reports from pro-Palestinian activists. And, I've stopped posting on TikTok. I haven't posted for 3 months because I think, it's owned by China. China is pushing propaganda, and it is a national security threat. And while TikTok may be fun for many young kids and young people, it is a dangerous propaganda tool of the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, you're right there. And the way TikTok looks in China is very different to the way it looks in the West, and that's with good reason. Now, let's talk about Scotland. The true scale of Scotland's new hate crime laws is already being felt. There have been thousands of reports filed since the laws came into effect just on April 1. Police are being swamped with this paperwork, but we're still seeing police out and about and seeming to be policing hate speech in a, uneven manner. At a recent Let Women Speak event in Edinburgh, they were manhandling the pro-women speakers while letting the pro-trans antagonisers run free. There was a fair bit of criticism, Ollie. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, this law is an attack on free speech. There's a very thin line between free speech and hate speech, but this law is already being used to target great women like J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is the victim of a hate crime here from all of these trans activists and even the Scottish First Minister Humza Yousaf, who is constantly attacking her simply because she defends women. So I think it's a total farce. We've seen over 8,000 hate crime reports filed since April 1st. That's one report every minute. What a waste of police time. And it's the fact that police at these this Let Women Speak rally, they take the side of the trans activists. It's okay for a trans activist to attack women. It's okay for them to attack someone like J.K. Rowling. But yet it's not okay for somebody to call them a man. If you're born a man and somebody calls you a man, you could get up to 7 years in jail for misgendering. So there's a total double standard and hypocrisy here. The trans activists can get away with what they want. There are Hamas supporters taken to the streets of Scotland. They can say whatever they want, but God forbid you misgender a trans person. You're going straight to jail, and I think it is a total farce.
Well, J.K. Rowling seems to be doing her best to undermine these Orwellian laws, and more power to her. Ollie, let's talk about Brazil. They've had in recent weeks huge anti-government protests taking place. There wasn't much in the mainstream media, but certainly social media showed huge numbers, as you can see there, taking to the streets. People protesting against the election ban that's been placed on ex-President Bolsonaro. Ex-owner Elon Musk is vowing to fight an order by Brazil's Supreme Court to remove several social media accounts that they deem to be propagating hate speech and false information. He said, "We are lifting all restrictions. This judge has applied massive fines, threatened to arrest our employees and cut off access in Brazil. As a result, we will probably lose all revenue in Brazil and have to shut down our office there, but principles matter more than profit." This is what a real threat to democracy looks like, Ollie, and you've got to congratulate Musk here because he's vowed to fight the aggressive censorship here, and he's saying that the judge is violating the will of the people of Brazil.
Yes, Brazil has become increasingly authoritarian under President Lula's administration. We saw former President Jair Bolsonaro was previously arrested. The Supreme Court has banned him from running for election until 2030. So it's kind of a similar situation to America when they're trying to stop Trump being on the ballot. It's become increasingly authoritarian, and there is huge support for ex-President Bolsonaro. There are also many Brazilians that have been protesting, many millions, and that has largely been ignored by the Brazilian media, and social media has been sharing that information, and that is the reason why Brazil's Supreme Court judge head has been trying to ban influencers that may spread information that the government deems hate speech or fake news. And Elon Musk is a man of principles. He has said that he will defend free speech. He doesn't care about the loss of income from ad revenue. So he really is a hero to many people. And, he is going to challenge this Supreme Court ruling. He's also challenging the Brazilian Attorney General, who is trying to see if they can ban X completely, simply because it gives Brazilians a voice.
And he's advising people to use VPNs to try to get around these really illiberal restrictions. Ollie London, thank you so much for your time this evening. Appreciate it.